Hey guys, so thanks for watching. If you guys are interested in building a house for yourself and you might be considering stone, we have a PDF that my wife made. It's called the Budgeting and Sourcing Toolkit. And what it is it tells you the sorts of things that you need to budget for when you start to think about building a stone house in particular. Certain things that you might not come up in a normal budget. It contains our budget itself, all the line items that we used, but it's been zeroed out, so there's no cost for each line item because it's going to vary by region. But it will give you an idea of the sorts of things that we have, and so that's our exact line item. So it's a good, it'd be very useful. Another thing it contains is for those who are living in Texas Hill Country, we have a lot of good subcontractors that we use. I did a lot of the work myself. Some of the things I did sub out, for example, are concrete and that sort of thing, who we use to actually stack the blocks. So all those contractor information is also in the sourcing toolkit, and they're all good contractors, and we had no problem with them. So I know, like, for those who are starting to build a house or thinking about it, it's hard to find good contractors. Also, you might notice that the surroundings around me are, I'll say, a jump from our recent YouTube videos. I'll just say this as a sneak peek. Stay tuned to see what we've done. We've been really busy. It's been a while since we've uploaded because we've had a baby and a lot of other things. So we're behind on posting, but we have a lot of content coming up. And this is a little sneak peek of the things I've been working on. So stay tuned and thanks for watching. Wallpaper going up in our bedroom, master bedroom. We have a mural that's being put in on Monday next week, and so I'm gonna get all my casing in that room put up and painted for the wallpaper to go against. So this is like a kind of a fluted casing that we're doing. On the back, I did a back relief as well. So you can see it's dug out a little bit in the middle here. And yeah, this is just what I ordered from a local lumber yard. It's really good. It's not quite stain grade, but we're gonna be painting it. But you can see there's basically no knots in any of these boards, so it's really nice wood for casing. So I'm running it right now. Then I'm gonna sand it, and then I'm gonna prime it, and then we'll put it up and we'll paint. So gonna keep running them. Around me, I'm putting up trim now. So I'll talk about trim, what I'm doing for trim. I'll talk about what I've done since the last video. I've gotten a lot of stuff done. We put up most of the lights in the house. I've done tiling in the kitchen and master bathroom. I've finished the kids' bathroom behind me. Well, not finished, but it's really close. And then I ordered all my wood, cut all my trim. I'll talk about that. I'm installing my trim right now. I'll talk about what I'm doing for my registers and plans for the future. So as you can see around me, this is kind of the style of trim I'm doing. So I have a fluted casing, and I've done rosettes, and then I've done bigger rosettes at the top. So let me quickly talk about what I've done. So this is all just stain grade pine that I got. And I have a molding machine and casing knives. So we ordered, the profiles that we wanted, and for the last week I was cutting trim, and you can see I'm doing a fluted casing on all the doors. And I'll talk about these rosettes in a minute. On the bottom here, these plinths are, what I did is I took a 1x12 and I ran a crown molding knife profile on half of the whole length of the 2x12, and I just sliced it. So those are my plinths. My baseboards here, these are 7.5 inch or 7.25 inch baseboards. So I mentioned before that we wanted to do like 10-inch baseboards. It turns out, at least in this area, it's really difficult to get stain grade 2x10s, or sorry, 1x10s. Most places it went from a 1x8 to a 1x12, and I asked about 1x10s, and they said we have to do a custom order, and like they called around and found them, but the price of a 1x10 was essentially the same as a 1x12, and in stain grade, this stain grade pine, going from a 1x8 to a 1x12 was almost 3 times the price per board. So I said it's not worth the extra 2 inches to pay 3 times more for my baseboards. So these are 7.25, which is actually, if you go on supply houses that sell trim, normally 7.25 is the tallest baseboard that they'll sell. This is my chair rail I've made. So, you know, it's a pretty standard, it's a 3-inch chair rail. And let's see, transoms, I took my transom window out, but you know, I'll put my transom in here. I have it right here. I've talked about these transoms before, but I made these out of repurposed old wood from windows. And this is really, really wavy glass. 1800s era cylinder glass, if you guys know what that is. Let me talk about my rosettes I've made. So for my rosettes, what I did is I got these. I have a rosette cutter, but it turns out it's hard to, if you don't have a really big sturdy drill press. I mean, I have a pretty big drill press, but you have to like one that's more rock solid than mine. It's really hard to cut these rosettes. There's a lot of chatter, and you just have to have a really solid drill press to do that. So I ended up buying these. These are 4.5 inch. And what I did, if you can see here, this was a 1x6 or a 2x6. And what I did is I dadoed out the whole middle of the board. So I took down this whole thickness. And then on the sides, I used what's called an astragal knife, which those knives they're symmetrical. They're really small, usually symmetrical knives. And they're used for things like between French doors, that piece of trim that covers the door gap on a French door, that sort of thing. Those are usually astragal knives. So I kind of just made these up. So these are the ones that are on top of all the doors. I have some of these bigger ones. You know, this is just the same plinths. These are outside corners. So, you know, crown molding knife there. I already talked about that. For my registers, so you see up here, my registers are just not trimmed out. They're just holes cut in sheetrock right now. So what I did, I'll just take a couple out, is I have a bunch of these old Victorian era registers. So these are all cast iron registers that I bought, stripped the paint off, or at least tried to strip the paint off. We're going to be repainting these anyway. So, and then what I did is I just made these frames. So everywhere on the wall, every register in the house has that nice frame around it. So I have them kind of just stacked against the wall over here. Little ones, some newer ones. These are Pacific Register Co. They're really nice. They're cast aluminum. They're thick, but they're new because it's really hard to find. I think these are 6x12 registers in from like an actual like historical Victorian era. I don't even think they made that size. So these are all new. So this tile is gonna be behind our kitchen. So our oven where I'm standing and cabinets on the side. Our cabinets are still being made. not gonna talk about that. These are white Carrera beveled tile. So this is on the backsplash of the kitchen, it's on the backsplash of our master bathroom, and it's on the ceiling of our master bathroom shower. So that's what we're putting behind there for the oven. Have this nice marble trim up here, and then eventually this whole thing's gonna be a vent hood that goes up, but not right now. That's for a project in the future. So we'll go into the master bedroom and talk about that. Quickly, as we're moving by, you can see I put some fans up. So I made these kind of Art Deco looking mounts that hang down from the ceiling. They're kind of like a skyscraper, you know? I mean, you see these skyscraper lights on the wall here, our sconces. It's a similar thing, right? It has like fluting in it, and it has this like, so I tried to kind of put together fluting and skyscraper things, and you know, it's kind of like just follows the theme of everything else in our house. The reason why I built these wood mounts is because I don't like those big plasticky ball ones that mount on the ceiling at an angle, and they have that ball that you know allows the fan to have any angle on it. I don't like those, so I made those so the fans just mount flat like they would normally would on a ceiling. Okay, we can move into here. So master bedroom, we put up a mural. So you can see some of the trim has been painted in here. That's because we wanted to paint the trim before the wallpaper went on, because it's hard to paint and then you have to like tape off the wallpaper if you want to caulk and everything, and it's easier to just do your primer paint and caulk and then put the wallpaper up to that. So that's why just the top is done. But you can see these Art Deco sconces are up. Really cool, really cool. I really like these lights a lot. These are 1920s, the real deal. Really cool lights. So we bought a bunch of these from, actually, I think it was the governor's mansion in Ohio that they were remodeling, and they just had a bunch of them and we just bought them all. You can see I'm going to be doing this in all the bedrooms here, this piece of trim here. So this is a piece of wood that I put and I've scribed it against, I still have to paint it, it's not finished being painted, but I just did a quick little bit to get it for the wallpaper. But you can see that what I did is I scribed that wood and then I backfilled it with mortar. So anywhere where that sheetrock is cutting up to the stone, I'm gonna be doing this because I don't like having that sheetrock just cut up against that. Okay, master bathroom. It's kind of, I'm still working in here, but same idea as the kitchen backsplash. We put up this light. This is a cool little light, just another antique light. Has that fluted idea, right? That idea kind of runs throughout the house. Yep, trim in here. That mural wraps around on the wall. This door is obviously far from being finished, but eventually it'll look like this, and we're gonna have to put some sort of privacy glass here, so kids can't run in and watch us taking a dump or something like that. Shower. Okay, let's talk about the shower. So shower ceiling is a same marble, white Carrera. It's a little rough. I just finished this. I still got to trim it out, put the cast iron register cover that's covering that fan. Mortar the top seam here, so you're not going to see any of these gaps, right? That's all going to go away. I did a white pebble shower floor. I had sawn marble, and I also had a few just brown, so it's actually kind of mixed. It's a little bit, some of them are sawn flat and some of them are round. It actually turned out it's because we had a friend that had some of this tile. Oh, and let me talk about that real fast. So I'll go over and talk about the kids' bathroom, but I have a friend that lives in this area, and he is like a master tile guy. So I never have done actually tile. I've only done tile once before I did all this tile. He showed me the ropes, so I'm very thankful for him for showing me that. And he gave us he had back stock of this 4 tile and Sonota tile. So it turns out that we didn't have quite enough, but he had these thicker ones. So I put in the sheets and kind of moved them around, and then in the gaps kind of put these thicker ones in. And I actually think it looks kind of cool. I like it a lot. So for the shower, what we're going to do is come onto this wall, and then I'm going to have a bar here. I think it's either going to be on the wall or it's going to come out, and I'm going to have 2 shower heads in here. I think I've mentioned that before. So I have a bunch of plumbing fixtures on the floor in the other room, and I've mentioned that gap before because of the top plate on the stone. We had this 1.5 inch gap that goes around the whole house. So when I tiled, I just tiled up behind that ledge, and then I'm going to mortar up to that tile. So that's how I did that. On the floor, it's not really anything. It's just, I just mortared up. I didn't film me doing the shower floor, but I can just talk about how I did it. It's pretty similar to like how you would do a normal slab or a normal shower, like a walk-in shower in a slab. The only difference obviously is like there's no curdy fabric like going up on the walls. Like normally if you have like a curdy system or something like that, you have seams on the bottom where the shower floor meets the wall. I don't have that. We're going to be sealing the stone, but the way we did it is I did a dry pack. We did a dry pack in the shower here. Skimmed it with thin set, and then I did 3 layers of waterproofing membrane, and I brushed that waterproof membrane like a 1/2 inch up onto the stone, and then I tiled up and I built my tile up a little bit so you don't see that waterproofing. So actually below this tile where the stone and the concrete kind of have this, where they meet, I have about a 1/2 inch of waterproofing membrane that comes up onto the wall. I'm actually not too worried about it. Obviously the most important seam in the shower is where this wall meets the floor, the interior framed wall meets the floor. So I do have some curdy fabric that goes up, that helps that, the waterproof stuff. So if you guys have more questions about how I did the shower in here, just let me know. I mean, you don't have to, if you were to do a stone house like this, you don't have to use exterior walls as part of your shower. You could always frame it out and just have a more traditional shower. I just think it's really cool to have this stone in here. So we're going to be putting a ledge in here, limestone, like a honed limestone. So this whole thing is going to be cut in a little bit, and we're going to have a nice limestone ledge here. So that's what will be shower glass. The windows still got to be framed out and everything, but we did a fish scale tile. Fish scale tile. I think it turned out really cool. There still needs to be some work done on this back ledge. We use like some sort of, I don't know if it's travertine or what material it is, but I still need to caulk the seam and do a little bit more work back there. But it looks pretty cool. We chose pink tile because our tub is pink. It's an antique tub. I sweated together this whole shower fixture. So this is all just stuff I put together. That's kind of what the register is going to look like in the master shower as well, that Victorian style cast iron register. So, we have a similar thing as we did in the master shower where one of the walls is stone. I'm going to have to really brush this and clean it really good, and then we're going to seal it. The seal we use is it's a penetrating seal, and it soaks in and it's matte, and you can't even tell it's sealed up. So. And then up there, I've got to mortar that joint. So the whole house has got to be mortared. This whole thing's still. When I go to do that, I can talk about how I'm going to do it. our little vanity. We have a rise and fall light. Pretty cool. This is, you know, all antique except the fixture and the bowl. 1930s French rise and fall light. So I still got to trim it out in here. You know, this seam where the tile meets the ceilings, that's all got to be trimmed out. Where this kind of beam comes down and there's just tape and stuff up here, that's all got to be trimmed out. I'm kind of deciding what I want to do with this shower, or what I want to do with this gap here. If I was to redesign my house, if I could change, one of the things I would change about this house is I wouldn't have had this gap here. I would have just built this wall, and then on the outside, I would have put another small door and made it a utility closet. So I kind of wish I did that, but by the time we started going, it was just, I don't know. I didn't think about it till after the fact. So I'm gonna make this into some sort of shelving area. Haven't decided exactly what. But you guys can see, like, obviously this looks really messy right now. The reason why this is painted up onto the sheetrock, it's the same reason as I said before. We're gonna be putting wallpaper in this bathroom. I have to still put the chair rail on, but that's the reason why. So yeah, I hope you guys found this interesting. And if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. And see you on the next episode.